All right, cool. We recording, yeah?
Yeah, I just started
All
the
right, cool.
recording, so yeah, we're good to go.
Awesome. All right.
So this was an interesting case study. I had
Yeah,
never
I
I had
liked it.
never heard of rent the one way before.
Yeah, it's
So
probably because we don't wear dresses, you know?
makes sense. Makes
Yep.
sense. So
No, but it's an interesting concept. I like it.
yeah, I was starting to think like, I wonder. I'm sure there is. I just haven't done any research, but like stuff for guys, because I went and looked at the Rent the One Way website afterwards, and they do more than just like the fancy dresses now. They have like casual attire, like just everyday like kind of
Huh.
stuff. And so it's like, oh, that's interesting. So they went from full on formal like black tie dress type things to really just everyday stuff that you can rent. So
That's pretty neat.
yeah, but they have like a subscription based model now, so it's like $139 a month, and then you can rent
Is that
stuff.
like unlimited clothing though?
I think so. I
Okay.
think so. I didn't dig too much into it. I was just kind of curious, but yeah.
Yeah. I guess for some people that wouldn't be that bad because I mean I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that drop that much on clothing each month, you know? So
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
all right.
Um, so I guess we can get right into it.
All
Let's
right,
see.
cool. Let's do it.
Um, Looks like the discussion's a little bit different this time. Um,
Pull it up.
let's see. So it looks like it says to vote individually, but I think that was the pre-poll thing. Um, so let's just kind of start with that first question then that we had to kind of look into is the timeline.
Okay.
The timeline of their specific actions. Does it make sense the way they did it, or should they have done something a little differently? And for me, like I tried to just as best I could just like write out anytime I saw a date, I just put it down
Yeah.
what was going on. Um, Honestly, I didn't feel like they were. I don't feel like they went out of any specific order that they should have. I mean, they started with their inspiration in November. Then they just went on and kind of talked to a high-ranking designer to kind of express their ideas and kind of get some feedback. They didn't present a plan at that point, but they were going for feedback.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until February that they actually presented a plan. They got legal advice to incorporate their business. They started working on the development of the website. And then, so they put all that together. And I guess if you wanted to critique something, it wasn't until March that they started analyzing their competition. So in February, they started putting it all together. And then in March, they looked, okay, well, what else is out there? So maybe they could have done that first before putting together the website and everything. But other than that, I think everything else was fine. They got more designers on board, and then finished their website and launched. So I don't know, like it seemed like they were pretty consistent with what I feel like most businesses do.
No, I thought so too. I liked their timeline. I basically had everything that you had, just how it was mapped out. The only thing I didn't really care for too much, I felt like they're like too nitty picky about a few things. Like with the website, I I feel like they could have done better. Like they lost a lot of time there and probably money. So I think they could have networked it a little better there and found a little um, better route of doing that. That would have saved them some time. I thought marketing just throughout the whole thing, they killed it. Obviously, marketing's a strong suit. And then, yeah, other than that, I thought, just straightforward. They kind of went down the line perfectly.
Yeah,
Thought it worked great.
yeah, I think so. And I wouldn't have made other than those couple of tweaks that we just kind of mentioned. Like, I don't think they went too crazy, and I wouldn't have said, oh, you should have done it this way, and you would have been more successful. I don't think you can definitively say that based on the
Yeah,
timeline.
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, any other comments on that one?
No.
All right, cool. So number 2, this is one where, oops, I meant. All right, so how many rentals are necessary to recover the cost of an average dress? How does yearly performance compare to this target? All right, so it says use the data from Exhibit 4. Okay, so I was able to calculate that because you have to ship out 2 dresses at once because they do like an exercise. I got 25 days. Like it ended up being like 25.42, if you round up, because you can't do like 0.4 of a day.
Right.
Like 26. Is that what you got? Or?
I got something different. So I want to
Okay.
see. I want to make sure
Okay, let's see where
I
we're at.
understood what was going on. So, so the question was asking. I didn't think it was asking how many days do they
Well,
need to.
how many
How many
rentals I
dresses?
meant?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
How
yeah,
many rentals? Okay.
yeah. I labeled that wrong.
Okay. So I still got something a little bit different. I got
Okay.
their break-even point being at 10.95, so 11. And I could be totally wrong. So I watched the video for calculating rentals basically. So I might have had my variable cost wrong. So basically I got number of dresses per rentals were 2.
Yep.
Cost per dress. I used the wholesale cost. Did you do wholesale or did you do the actual price
I think I did.
or retail price?
I put down 750, whatever that one was. Let me pull it up.
Yes, that's the retail price, and I think they were getting
Okay.
wholesale cost for the dress.
Wholesale, you're right. Yeah. What was the
So
wholesale price?
the wholesale price was $323,
323. Yeah.
and so then I used the effective cost being $646. So just multiply
Yep.
323.
Exactly. Yep. I'm down to 10.9 now. That's where I had it messed up. Yep.
Okay. And so I could be wrong. Maybe I thought I read in the case that they said wholesale. They were getting them a wholesale. So if they were doing retail price, we've got the number for retail price if they were doing them at retail. But then if we're doing them at wholesale, then their break-even point would be 11 dresses or 11 rentals.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right, because I remember now that they were getting everything at wholesale. I just spaced when I put my numbers in.
No, but it sounds like our formulas were on point.
Yeah,
So that's
exactly.
good. But then I don't notice one thing in the exhibit 4. They did have a section that says the cost of dress to rent the runway. So and that was lower. That was even $226 per dress. So I don't know what that is referring to. I don't know if that means like it costs rent the runway $226 or what. So that's why I use the wholesale cost, because that's in the case. That's what I read was how they did them. So. Cool. So $11 or 11 dresses is their break-even point, which I mean, it sounds like they could hit that. So I guess they have to sell, or they have to rent that same dress 11 times in order to break even. If I'm understanding that correctly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nope. That makes sense to me.
And so within the first 2 months, their number of dresses in inventory went up to 1,000, but they had like 600 rentals out at a time. So they'll definitely get there. I couldn't figure out exactly how long it would take them to get to break even, but I didn't feel like it was going to be an issue that down the line they were going to be able to break even and then become profitable.
Yeah. No, I agree, because I looked at it and I couldn't figure out at what point they'd be at break even, but I figure with the market and the demand, the number of dresses, as long as they just keep increasing supply, they'll get that easy.
Yeah, I agree as well, and which kind of leads into the next question, deciding what they should do next. Should they stick with their original plan, pursue operational improvements, or raise more capital and expand inventory? And now, as I'm reading that just now, I think I read it wrong the first time, because I feel like with what you just said, it might be a good idea to start expanding inventory, because they've got this huge wait list, and so they're not hurting for people that want to be involved. And so having a larger inventory means that they can get more dresses out at a time. It increased your costs up front, but I think that as long as they kind of pursue that course, while kind of here and there, they might add other options, like they talked about renting the earrings and things like that. And so
accessories,
so I think that might be a route to pursue for them, rather than just going, okay, well, let's just stick with it. They could stick with it and see, hey, let's kind of analyze where our market's going and then make adjustments, but I think they're at a point where they're probably pretty safe with whichever one they choose.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think as long as they just increase inventory, I don't think they should expand the product range quite yet
Mm-hmm.
of adding on like the earrings and necklaces and all that, but just getting more dresses. And then along the way, they can make tiny tweaks. I don't think they need to like look at the operation as a huge and like worry too much about that. Because I mean, you already have the demand, high interest. It looks like based off of their marketing trials, there's good enough rates of like rentals based off of it, other than the telephone one that wasn't that great. So
Right.
I think they'll be fine. Just invest money, get more dresses. I mean, the point of a business is to make money. You don't need it to be perfect, just keep it simple.
Yeah.
So
Agreed.
I do.
I guess the only benefit to waiting, I guess, that I could see is they could analyze like what their more popular dresses are.
Yeah.
They could target later on, like, okay, well, we're gonna focus our new inventory on this style of dress. Like, so say their most popular dresses are for black tie events. So we need to get more formal black tie event type dresses as opposed to a casual like prom dress or something like that.
Yep.
But that's really the only benefit I could see to waiting. But I don't think they're gonna hurt one way or another.
Yeah. No. And yeah. And I mean, when they increase inventory, I don't feel like they just need to be like, oh, I'm just gonna buy, thousands of dresses just like this, just
Right.
like slowly add on as demand increases.
Agreed.
Because I guess technically, based off of, I don't know how long it takes them to get a dress, but they could even do like pre-orders for dresses before they buy them, just to kind of get a read on, all right, what dress is going to rent out more. But
yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's definitely something they could do. And since they're already kind of doing reservations on dresses, they can see like they probably have a pretty good understanding. Like, okay, 6 months out from now, what's the dress that people are wanting to rent, and so then they can load up more inventory on that dress to be able to meet more demand for that rental, for that occasion or whatever. So I think that I think if they pursue that, they'll be successful. So
yeah, I agree. It seems like based off of what their website shows and everything, they're doing pretty well today. So
yeah, I think so. I think it's a pretty cool thing that they've done.
Oh yeah.
So I guess basically summarize, we didn't feel like their timeline was too out of whack. That they did a pretty good job of starting the business. 11 dresses or 11 rentals to break even per dress, and then slowly increase inventory ahead of their schedule. So
Yeah.
I think that we're kind of on the same page there and feel pretty good about that. So
Yeah, that was a great case study. These are fun.
yeah, I enjoy it. It's I'm learning more, and I'm noticing that it kind of gives me ideas to kind of percolate and see, oh, maybe there's something I could pursue in the future. But
Yeah. You can see that entrepreneurial bug,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Cool. Any other comments or anything that you want to?
No, I think we're good.
Okay, cool. Well, I
Solid.
will get this posted, put the timestamp on for our summary, and then I'll send you the link as well so that you can post it in the post-discussion poll.
Cool.
So,
Awesome. Hey, thanks a ton.
no problem. See ya.
Yeah. See ya.
Bye.